going forward? I mean, obviously you have no crystal ball, but sort of like, what do you think the other side of this represents?
Yeah, again, I don't know, right? I can tell you that, when you buy a property, and when I try to help people buy property, what I always advise is that you need to have multiple strategies that work, right? So a lot of people who were just banking on Airbnb, well, that party just came to an end real quick, right? The cops just busted that really quickly. And so now you need to be able to rely on traditional rental income. Is it going to be as good as Airbnb? Probably not, but you have to be able to hold, right? And so what I've done in this, like an immediate right now, is basically I turned my Airbnbs into month-to-month short-term rentals, traditional, typically, signing leases, all that kind of stuff. I've basically got them both rented in a relatively short amount of time, because that was why I bought these houses. It was like, okay, if for some reason Airbnb goes away, I could never have predicted a worldwide pandemic, but if for some reason Airbnb goes away, I've got a fallback plan. And now is the time to exercise that to see if it works. And if it works, that's a tried and true strategy, and it will likely last for the long haul. In terms of where the market's headed, I potentially think that there will be quite a bit of foreclosures coming up in the next 9 to 18 months. And why I say that is because at the end, so banks right now are giving 3-month forbearance. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they're
Yes.
forgiving 3-month payments, 3 months worth of payments, but those are still going to be due, and they're going to be due on month 4. And so people who have been struggling for the last 3 months are not going to be able to pay their mortgage 3 times. If it's a $2,000 mortgage, you're not going to be able to pay $6,000 in June or July or whatever it is. And so then banks are going to have to start taking action. They might have to start foreclosing, all that kind of stuff, unless greater actions are being taken, right? The second part of that is in the past 10 years, Airbnb has become this massive conglomerate, right? 2008, Airbnb didn't exist. I believe it started in 2009. And so now you've got a lot of people purchasing houses with mortgages, relying on Airbnb income. Well, those people are going to either lose their houses, or going to be forced to sell them, or the banks are going to have to foreclose them. And so, I think you're going to see either houses being sold tremendously cheap, these Airbnb rental houses, or you're going to, see foreclosures, in, the 9 to 18 months after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to adjust, is probably, like you said, a staple of being a successful entrepreneur in the long run, or landlord. Because, these cycles, like you said, you have to be able to use different strategies at different times, because they don't all work, all the time. And like you said, you had to adjust from Airbnb to, leases on the fly. And I know a lot of people as well have done something similar.